I'll be very brief on this episode. First and foremost, I want to say how you doing. Namaste. Hope you're having a good day. Um, currently working on a new project right now with a few people, and it's based on these latest annuities that have dropped in the sports arena. And once again, it's a lot of shifts in credit. And it's proven that we live in a prison planet. Just what this latest annuity is about. They have now negative entities have now infiltrated a lot of the positive information that we was talking about finding credit and being able to use and keep that credit that may be tied into your birth certificate or your birth or your family's inheritance, and being able to monetize on that, where they have now found a way to once again block you off. But it's just a obstacle on the journey, because when you get into mining, finding money, you'll find out that a lot of this hidden money and credit that'll help you spike your credit like in 30 days, 100, 200 points. A lot of this hidden credit is owned secretly by prison system. That's why Alex Jones said it correctly. It's a prison planet. And it's owned by the prison system right now. And it was proven last night, based on this annuity that dropped, that we have yet to still graduate from out of the slavery that we was put up under by these supposedly higher beings that at some point enslaved us and made us work for money. See, that's the thing right now. When you work, and I always tell people this, and it's not to knock what you're doing, it's a step. You got to remember that. That's just a stepping stone. When you work, and you're essentially taking your account, your sovereign account, and drawing credit off of it through labor, through work, and the striving to build wealth. But you only have a certain period of time to do that. And if you don't do that in a certain period of time, they'll begin to change the matrix on you and put you into what's called a prison, or more of a slavery version of working. So where now you're broke, you're behind, you can't get the right job you want. You got to go back to school and all of this stuff, because this comes from annuities. So if you follow these annuities, you can avoid all of this stuff. You may have to switch your career 7 times in 2 years before you get into what you really want to do. You have to be flexible, especially those people out there in their teenager years and 20s. Definitely you guys, and like be more flexible, when you're doing this thing. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a live example. I'm not going to give any of these clients business out of who they are. There's 2 females or anything like that. One is a senior elder, of me, as far as my age, and one is younger than me. And they've been top donators to 13 Signs Astrology at gmail.com via PayPal. So I've decided to do some work with them and help these individuals strive to secure a couple of houses for these individuals. And we already seeing the first thing, an annuity drop, but it's not enough credit involved in that annuity right now because of monies that's owed by this, or the sovereign right now owes, or even the Native Americans and those people that are indigenous to this land have to pay off certain liens and do work to pay off certain taxes and to spike credit, because of the fact that money is owed internationally to like China and stuff like that. So this annuity is kind of like giving us a good idea of what we got to do. Like most people want to get off the, matrix, get off the grid, get houses and all this stuff. But this is give you a good idea where to start. So it's like getting out of debt is one thing. And then from there, building and spiking your credit, having a way to do that is another. And then having a way to follow these annuities, because you may have to change what you're doing to keep. You're going to eventually get to your goal, but you may have to switch your momentum and focus every time an annuity drops. So that's kind of like what happened. Like we went from an annuity that was coming out of Boston, which was actually dealing with some more high level credit that was issued via the music industry. Actually, what that annuity was about, some high level credit was issued via the music industry, and that lasted for only a few days. And when these annuities switch, it switches up paperwork and stuff too. So like a lot of times, some annuities, like if you like trying to buy a house or something like that, you may have to come in where you just use cash. You may have to flip it. You may have time through certain annuities where you can apply and use paperwork and get loans through institutions and banks. So it just depends on like what I would consult and how I would consult you. Like, I'm not going to take any more clients with this. I'm just going to give a live example as I go through this. It's probably, I don't know how long these examples are going to last, depending on how far they go and make it. But as we go, I'll explain it. But depending on, you need a consultant or someone to consult you through the way because of these annuities and following these annuities, because you're going to turn into, once you start the application process, you turn into kind of like a satellite or identified flying object, an IFO, on the credit industry level though. So you begin to build and sometimes subtract credit and deduct credit. You don't even realize you're doing it. Taking showers, it's basic shit. Taking a shit, fucking doing certain stuff the wrong way. You have to clean all of that up. So clean your personal credit up individually. Then you can go into business credit and finance and stuff like that. So that's what we're going to eventually get into, is like helping these two people to figure out how they're going to secure property or whatever they want to get or whatever. And then what do they have? Like, what are they approved for? So if there's like right now, based on this first example, like I was saying, right now, it's not even enough money right now. We'll come back up tomorrow and go more further into this, but there just wasn't enough credit drawn off of this first example to really be able to go out and even get a house based on what's going on in this country, to be able to get a house on a conscious level. You'll be in a shack somewhere. But I'm saying, like, to actually get something that you want and that you can grow in. This example is proven right now that on this annuity, nobody will be approved unless you could monetize on a certain level. And it was like, last time I checked, it was like over like $10,000 in a day before you could even sit down. Meaning that, yeah, you have to make 10,000 some kind of way in a day before you could even sit down and start talking about buying houses with anyone or property. So that's just the advice I give people, to get it so they can save time. Like, why go, you know what I'm saying, and go and get consultations. And even if you don't have to spend money, they're free sometime, but you got to waste time though, go through traffic and all that, when you could just know through a live example. Like, I'm gonna give this person a live example tonight. There's some business that we're doing, but you could just do a live example and just know what you're capable of and what you can do and things of that nature. So like, I'm like a walking credit machine. Like, I can give credit, receive credit, and issue credit. And Visa, what I do is I pay to see, is what it's called. So like, I pay to see examples like in the credit industry and help people that way, so they don't have to waste a lot of time. Because a lot of times people waste time doing stuff they don't have to really waste time doing. So I'm gonna go ahead and shut this video down for now. Just let people know that's where it's at. The latest annuities are getting into property now and credit that supposedly is really owned by the prison industry, but you can release this credit if you have enough equity and your net worth is what it is high enough. You can begin to get some of this credit back from the prison industry. Reason why they're holding it is because of net worth. Most people have bad credit, so they can't get what I'm talking. They may be entitled to it by will and by their bloodline. You may be entitled to $1 million, but you can't get it because of liens and stuff like that. So that's what we'll be giving a few video examples on for the next couple of days, unless another annuity drops, as far as how to secure property, what's the best place for you, and things of that nature. So I'll be coming back up with more. You guys stay vigilant. I got to shut down. Namaste.